Hey guys, Sam here, welcome back to the channel. Today is a back workout and I'm here at Legends Gym Haringey for a change, so a couple of different pieces to use. I'm going to start with bodyweight wide grip pull-ups just to see how I'm getting on at this weight, so please don't laugh at an almost morbidly obese man trying to do pull-ups. I'm just seeing how the strength to weight ratio is going to go. From there I'll do something else at that sort of angle, focusing on the lats, and something rowing with a different machine to what I'd normally show, just for variety here. So I hope you enjoy all of the workout. As usual, I'm carrying on with showing all of my workouts on this road to 300 pounds, and we're nearly there, very, very close to the end. This really could be embarrassing, but pull-ups at 300 pounds with my clothes on. The curiosity has got the better of me, so here goes. Hey, that was better than I thought. Might do one more set. Basically, I'm leaving the hoodie on to make sure that I am 300 pounds while doing this, because once I've had a couple of meals and got heavier clothes on, I'm over 300 pounds. It's just I'm not counting the journey done until that's my morning weight, which is not quite yet. It's still 3 or 4 pounds off, depending on how dehydrated I am when I wake up. But I'm enjoying wearing the hoodie. It's one of my favourites, this one. The old Gasp Relentless. Right, let's get that again. Nearly 7. And last one. No. I think all of the calisthenics that I used to do will kind of help with this kind of thing. I really rate calisthenics actually. For upper body it's great, it's just really legs where it lets itself down. My next exercise is going to be the hammer strength isolateral high row. This gentleman's using on my left. It's kindly allowed me to work in. Now as machines go, this is one of my absolute favourites, if not my favourite machine for back. So for back, I'd say the absolute beast tier exercises are pull-ups and weighted pull-ups, barbell rows, landmine T-bar rows, and deadlifts, especially if you're newer and trying to build like all body strength across the whole lot. But I tend to use less nowadays, if at all, because I'm more focused on different parts and don't want the glutes coming up too much and all that kind of thing. But that's like my absolute top ones. And then when we come down from there and look at machines as well, my absolute favourite kind of stuff would be like isolateral high row here, and also cable rows really. Set 1. Love it. Now, as I sometimes say, these plate-loaded machines, you're not lifting the weight directly against gravity, because the weights aren't going directly up and down. They're often at an angle like this, so it's not the same resistance as it'd be on like a squat or a bench press, where you're working directly against gravity. So it means you're probably going to be lifting heavier than you expect if you're inexperienced with them. So don't be afraid to load up. And I'm now ready to go a little bit heavier for set 2. So we've got 100 kilos on each side, but that's not heavy as these things go. And here we go. So think of this as another exercise that really prioritizes your lats. You should feel that if you get the seat height correct. So if you haven't used one of these before, or similar, just put half the weight you normally use on, have a play with it and get the seat height so you can really feel it in the lats. This is going to be my last set now, so bear with me. So while all the pull-ups, pull-downs and similar angle stuff is more focused on the lats, which gives the appearance of width in the back, all the more rowing exercises give the appearance of thickness in the back from working the lower parts of the trapezius, the rhomboids and the teres major and minor a little bit more. So my option for that sort of thing for today is going to be the seated cable row here. And I was supposed to be easing off for now. But as I haven't used this particular one before, I want to try the full stack just to see what it's got to offer, because I've only been defeated by one so far, the one over at Giant's Gym in Wood Green. So I need to train for the rematch with that machine, and I can't resist trying it on here really. Okay, set 1. Easy. And set 2. Oh, love it, 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 love it. I've kept it fairly heavy on the weights today, even though the plan for the time being was to ease off a little bit on the training side of things. But what I have eased off here is the volume, as I'm doing 3 sets for all of these bits and bobs, where ordinarily my standard would be 4, or it would go up to 5 if I was doing high volume for me, or drop sets, or kind of pre-contest extra output desired. So 3 is low for me, so it's still easing off on that front, and that makes this my last set of cable rows. Which I'm dropping after not many reps there, because that felt a little bit twingy in the lower back. So I'm going to move on from here, and space will just be muscular pain. Basically, I'm always listening to my body, and if something doesn't feel quite right, I'll move on to something else immediately. And I felt a little bit of an unusual pain in the lower back just then, before I got to failure of that set. So I'll just move on from that to something easier. And as I wasn't doing many reps on the pull-ups, I've decided to work that angle again with some assisted pull-ups. So on these kinds of machines, like this Cybex one here, the more weight you put on, that's the weight that it's taking away from you, because it's all pressing through the foot pedal that you stand on. So this is going to be considerably easier than those bodyweight pull-ups that I started today's workout with, and will provide a nice little finisher where I've had to stop short at the end of that set with the cable row there. Set one. And that's more like the rep range that I'd be looking for growth, that kind of 8 to 12, where I'm 1 or 2 reps shy of that on a bodyweight pull-up at this stage, with my body weight being 300 pounds when I've had a meal and my clothes on. Set 2 on this easy peasy finisher exercise. Now, if you were looking to build your strength and balance for doing real pull-ups as quickly as possible, I would not recommend machines like this or lat pull-downs and stuff. What I'd recommend for that is doing static holds on a real pull-up bar. So there's one just here, which you can't see on the camera, but what you do is hold on to the top and jump up into the top position, and just hold yourself at that top position for as long as you can, and keep building on that. And then the next thing you can do is use like a box or a platform to jump up into that top position with your legs with momentum, and just practice the negative, the eccentric, again and again and again, but no actually pulling up the concentric, if I've even got them the right way round. And that really builds your balance and being used to holding your own body weight and what it feels like, and builds real pull-up strength as quickly as possible in a way that you can't do with kit like this, and you can't do with lat pull-down nearly as quickly. So that's what I recommend if it's a long-term goal of yours, to be able to rep out properly on the real pull-ups. And I've taught many people these things, and it can be very satisfying when you're doing the real pull-ups. It's something really versatile for training in the park, training at home. When all the restrictions were on, I was using a doorway pull-up bar, and even figured out how to do bodyweight rows by attaching ropes to it, as well as doing the pull-ups. So something as basic as pull-ups can be modified in all sorts of different ways if you're training at home or in an outdoor gym kind of thing. So last set on here. And that's the workout phase of today's video. Well done. Thanks for watching if you made it this far, and I hope all of today's remarks on training made sense. Obviously, drop a question in the comments if something needed clarification there. But I've always thought that back training is so important for the development of the physique. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that it might be the most important muscle group but the overall look of the physique, because in real life what kind of creates that shape is like the V taper, and that's mostly coming from the back, and the overall size of the upper body mostly coming from the back, I feel. So it's something that I've always concentrated on and always particularly enjoyed and felt made a big difference to how my overall development looked. And I was kind of inspired by seeing people do pull-ups when I was a kid. So, as some of you know from watching my previous little stories on here, first discovered bodybuilding in an encyclopedia in the library when I was 7 or 8 years old, and it kind of stuck in my mind. But one of my first encounters with someone training where I thought, oh, that's seriously cool, I'd love to be able to do that, it was when I was just a couple of years older than that and was on holiday, and near a beach somewhere they had a pull-up bar, you know, nothing fancy about it, just like a wide grip pull-up bar, and there was a guy knocking out pull-ups, just body weight, nothing added to it, but knocking out like 12 to 15 reps, like really fast, like effortlessly, and I could see all the muscles in his back moving, and I thought, you know, I'd love to be able to do that someday. I'd love to be able to have that kind of upper body strength where I can pull up again and again and again like it's nothing, and have that kind of development in my back. I just saw it look really cool, and that stuck in my mind as well. And this is before I'd even started training, so I had these little moments, and one that stuck in my mind the most was with the development of the back and the abilities on the pull-ups. So it's something I've always focused on, and when I started training, like seriously, the first like specifically bodybuilding focused routine I did was from the Arnold Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, where he talks about the antagonist split and you do chest and back together. And in the back workout, the first thing you do is 50 reps of pull-ups in as many sets as it takes you. My God, that'll build up a body strength, and it's so satisfying to do it in fewer and fewer sets as the months pass, and you get stronger overall from that routine. It's a cracking routine. People say it's overtraining now, but it's not. It's an incredible routine, and your recovery capabilities do also develop, like your overall strength, and to be able to handle that routine and get the benefits from it, it's one of the best things I ever did. It then has deadlifts in that program as well, so you're doing deadlifts twice a week within a workout that's chest and back, so that would be considered really tough like now, the way that people tend to train now, or even I've resorted to training now that's like a body part split, or a throw split as they call it. But I very quickly found that doing deadlifts, once my pull-up strength developed a lot, I found it really hard to do the deadlifts as I think it was the third thing in the order of that routine. So what I used to do is swap it round. Once my pull-up strength was there, I would do the chest exercises, which was a barbell bench press, an incline dumbbell press, and then dumbbell pullovers. And then I would do my deadlifts first as I moved on to back. And then I would do my pull-ups, and then I'd do my barbell rows, and then I'd do like the abs exercises that I tend to finish on. It's an awesome routine. I love deadlifts as well. I really credit deadlifts with building my back in the early days, but I just don't do them now, as I was saying earlier, because they work my glutes a lot, and I find that with that and squats, it's getting too much with the glutes, and I want something more like focused on the muscles just in the back. So I've relied on things like pull-ups more, barbell rows much more, occasionally T-bar rows, cable rows, and then a lot of the plate-loaded machines, but particularly that high row, Isolateral high row by Hammer Strength that's all over the place now. I've used that an awful lot. And then there's little finishers on back that are kind of just more exercise, but not the real heavy lifting. I do stuff like straight arm pull downs, but don't regard that as so effective as all of the exercises that I was talking about earlier today when it comes to back. That's my general thoughts on back development. I continue to work back, it's just not priority for me at the moment because it's developed better than probably the rest of the muscle groups I got going on. So my focus is going to be towards the limbs, arms and legs. As I was mentioning the other day, I just haven't decided when to switch over to this new program and have 1 or 2 more experiments to do first, like the video I put out a couple of days ago on trying out calves. That was really to determine where calves might fit into my new routine after the toe injury, because I hadn't done any kind of pressure on the foot and on the toes since sustaining that injury, but it all looks to be good now. So in a new routine, probably the work on calves will fit in after the work on hamstrings, and possibly on one of the arm days as well, as I'm going to separate triceps and biceps. It's just undecided when I'll switch over to that. It's probably not going to be until I finish this 300 pounds of body weight in the morning challenge, which I still hope to do this time round, but if I don't within about a week or so, I'll be changing all sorts of things. So follow along for all of that. At some point I'll complete the 300 pounds challenge, because if I have to pause it for a while, I'll only resume it a couple of months later and expect to go beyond the 300 pounds, because I won't be cutting all the way down and getting contest ready and all that sort of thing until next year. At the moment, I'm just looking out for other people that are doing such contests or have aspirations to do them in the near future, which, to tell you the truth, I find more exciting, because I've been working with my own body for 20 years, and it's like certain things never change, like bone structure and muscle insertions, and the overall shape of those muscles. It's just how much you develop what you've got within the shape and frame that you've got, and then how dense and hard and shredded you get it for the end. But I've done that a number of times, having done 13 contests or something like that. So much more exciting for me to help other people. So I'll be looking forward to doing much more of that in the coming months. And the contest season is underway, so there's ones for me to watch without the stress of me getting myself ready and being there for all the appointments. If you've never competed before, you won't have any idea of any of this, but really it's quite a lot of faffing around, because you'll have like registration, the base coat tan, the top coat tan, the pump up like backstage bit, the when you go on, the different routines, and that's before you get into events where there's a separate pre-judging and finals, or events where there's a qualifier the day before and then the next show the next day. So it can be a lot of running around, a lot of different timings to figure out, which you then have to slot your food and protocols like in and around to look your best as well. So it's always good to have help with these things if you haven't done it before. So sometimes that's where I come in. And really, talking of timings, I must be due another meal now, because I was eating about half an hour before starting this workout. It'll take me time to go home, maybe about 15 minutes walk, and well, hunger's saying so. As I'm not often very hungry with all this overfeeding and bulking, I really need to take advantage of it when my body is saying it is hungry. So I'm well up for it now. And I'll be back online tomorrow. Hope you're having a good Easter weekend, and train hard.